is also very timely, as the recommendations on education align with the focus areas of the Transforming Education Summit, including on inclusive and equitable education, especially for our girls, safe and healthy schools, foundational skills, and lifelong learning, digital skills, and education financing.
Well, that warning comes as Nigeria battles a crisis in its education sector, with a nationwide university strike well into its 6th month. Joining us now is in the studio is the president of the National Association of Nigerian Students, ASUU Sunday. Glad to have you join us in the studio.
It's my pleasure to be here.
Good to see you again.
Their cry of not being able to meet the sustainable development goals. But 7% to 20% with so much chasing funds. Do you see that happening or even happening?
How realistic is it?
Like we have we are agitating that our government should do more in investing on our education sector. And this agitation has been on for a very long time, that going forward, going backward, yearly basis on the budget on education in Nigeria is one of the the problem that we are having in education sectors, and as such that makes us to ask the government for a total oiling of education sector. Yes, we know that yes, Nigeria has never for once met up with the UNESCO budgetary allocation, but yet, like what you have just read now, yes, I think we should be moving close at least 20% or 15, even 50%, because you are talking about this 7%. By the time you remove the basic education, are you getting me? You remove the tertiary education, you remove the primary, then you discover there's nothing there again, and that is the problem we have in education. And as such, I think government should look inward in investing more on education in our country. I make an assertion that if the government invests more on education, all these importation of arms, there is a way we can kill those things. We can put all these banditry, kidnapping, because the majority of people that do these are people who are out of school children. Are you getting me? Yeah. Dropout students who today could not afford to go to school, but the government is not looking at that side, and as such, when they don't have nothing to do, they ended up joining the bad gang. And you see the government investing more on security yearly, living education that can even eradicate the insecurity in our country. And if we have a leadership that is sincere, that is bold enough, I can say it equivocally that we don't need to invest more on insecurity than if we invest more on education. It will cater for those things.
Apparently, of course, you're talking about the long-term measures that government needs to put in place. Yeah. But there is an immediate situation with the ASUU strike. It's gone on for over 6 months now, and the National Association of Nigerian Students, which you represent, you actually, condemning ASUU. It seems you have turned back from ASUU's agitation. Exactly why is that?
Thank you so much. I want to say this here again. I think this is my 4th time on this television on this same issue of ASUU strike. We have been supporting, and we have supported ASUU on this cause just because we believe that some of the demands are reasonable. And as a student leader and as a body of organization that represent the entire student, we saw those demands. They are academic allowance, revitalization, and replacing the UTAS, the IPPS with UTAS. we felt there is need for us to support those things. Even when the Minister of Education make a comment recently that the students should seek a legal action for liability on this issue of ASUU strike, we quickly told the minister that it's the responsibility of the government to take them to court. But at this junction, we need to be sincere to ourselves. We have to be, we need to call our parents, we need to call the stakeholders, that there is a need for ASUU member, particularly the leadership of ASUU at the national level, to be considerate. They should have to consider Nigerian students. If all those things that they are agitating for has been met, and if it's even 70 or 80%, like I have been agitating.
So where exactly is it now? Because we've heard that government, we heard from government that they have acceded to all of,
that is what I'm saying.
If not all of
what ASUU is saying
demands.
Now, if the government did not pay their 6 months salary, and they will not go back to school.
Yeah, they're saying
and
no
they
pay,
even,
no work.
They even threat, ASUU even threats that Nigerian students can even lose a session. I saw that comment that day from the ASUU president. I kept quiet. I didn't say anything. I look at the interview of the ASUU president today, saying that some university are crack. There's some cracks university in a country where you are a president of ASUU. So those schools that the ASUU president refers to as a cracked university, where they also have ASUU leadership, that means the ASUU chairman in those schools are crack.
All right, let me come in here. 2 issues. There is talk that government has pumped in money into education through TED fund.
Yep.
And they're criticizing or holding us responsible for frittering away those funds. That's one. And then just the other day, parents came together, who are part of the stakeholders, and said, okay, let's levy ourselves 10,000 and pump it into there. What do you make of it? What would have expected that, maybe as president or ASUU could say, okay, this is a step forward, can't get what we want. The parents are taking a bold step.
Meet each other halfway.
What do you make of these two issues?
Let me see all these things that we are saying now. To me, as a president of NAS, at the time, because we believe ASUU are the closest person to us, we always listen and believe in whatever they said. May I tell you today that since February 14th that this strike have started, I've started calling the ASUU president. I'm saying it now on national TV. Since March, 9th of the March.
What has been his response?
He has not been. He will pick my call and he will hang up. I even went to meet my vice chancellor, Professor Jonan Bekun. He called him on phone and he gave the phone to me. I called Dr. Ashiru, which is the Unilag ASUU, that we want to meet with the leadership of ASUU. They have never for once listening and meet with us. We have met series of stakeholders on this issue. Now, the bone of contention is we are not interested on anything.
Why are they
before we let you go, because
I don't know. I don't know, because they have masqueraded their own interest into the interest of the tertiary education in this country.
Would you support any attempt to proscribe ASUU?
Well, I will not support that. But one thing I believe, this section 43 of a trade union dispute stated clear, which I think it is the responsibility of the government to take action, because who pay Nigerian students for what we have lost for the 6 months?
All right, we'll have to leave it there. That's a good place to leave it. Sunday Ashefon is president.
And the talk about forgoing all that is
lost.
Quite
called for.
All right, Sunday Ashefon, President, National Association of Nigerian Students. We wish you the very best. We hope the next time we see you, ASUU would have called off their strike.
Just like Sanu and Nasu.
Yeah.